you know, going back to these Orisha energies, think about Oshun's past. Think about all the patakis about Oshun, all the men that she got with, all the gods that she got with. You know, all the outside children, that Oshun had before she got with Shango. You know, think about all the different experiences, and then not only that, you know, at the end of the day, her soul is always gonna make her way back to the baby Eshu. So it's like, you know, just taking the spiritualism from it right now. Let's take all the spiritual stuff out of it, you know, because right now we're talking about Easter, you know, we're talking about Ishtar, and Ishtar is the divine whore, you know. Oshun, in every sense of it, you know, Oshun, she represents a version of the divine whore, you know. Look up the real etymology of the word queen, you know. It means divine whore, you know. And Oya is like, yo, we didn't used to think about that in a bad way once upon a time, you know. So that's the reason why when we talk about African spirituality, Oshun can be venerated, you know, because she don't have the same stigma that she would have if she would have tried to do that in this generation, in this day and time, you know, with the government vandalizing our perception, you know. So now when we're thinking about it in this kind of way, now let's put it all together. You know, this man, you know, this man, he started out as a popular intelligent thug, not thug. He was a intelligent he was like an intelligent warrior, you know, a light warrior. He was a light warrior, you know, like Tupac. Tupac would have been a light warrior had he not had to be a thug. Had he not been raised up in the way that he was raised up, he would have been a intelligent nerd. He would have been a intelligent nerd who had a warrior spirit, because that's what Shango represent, you know. And this man, you know, he had all the makings to be a king, but he was a womanizer. You know, he couldn't, and for a good right, you know, he deserved it. You know, he worked his ass off getting that knowledge. You know, he worked his ass off to become a high value Jalion king man. You know, so it made sense. It made sense that this Shango, we're taking the spirituality out of it. It makes sense that this man had the pick of the litter, because, you know, he spent a lot of his early life doing what makes sense, which is to gain knowledge, you know, to learn who he is. He never lost who he was as a man, you know. He was constantly reminded who he was as a man, you know. So with all of these things at play, it's only right that this man becomes a king. It's only right. It's only right that he became a king, you know. Now his father arranged a marriage that he felt would be a good match for his son. So you can't blame Obatala for what Obanani did to Shango, because it wasn't his fault. He thought that he did everything that was right, you know. But because of that mistake, or because of that nature, that nature that you can't control in a woman, that will always you'll never be able um to fully put a woman in a box, because she's always going, when you think you got her wrapped around your finger, she's always going to do something, to let you know, like, yo, don't take your foot off the gas, you know. So now, now this man, this king, he had to break up with his queen, and it was a spectacle. It was a spectacle. It was a spectacle. The next day, the next month, whenever it was time for Shango to get back in front of the people, and he didn't have a queen beside him. Everybody was like, damn, where your queen at? And think about what any black man in that position would do. Like, man, that bitch cheat on me. That's why bitches ain't shit. You know, and that's why a lot of sons of Shango, they have a hard time with commitment to women because of that. This is all energy. This is all energy, but I'm right now I'm explaining it in straight human form. You know, so all of a sudden, this chick, this chick that you used to know back in the day, you know that she was always a good looking chick. You already knew that that she was gonna be something. She was gonna be something famous one day, whether it was her having a famous career, or her being a famous porn star, or her being on OnlyFans or something like that. You know? Now, Shango, this man, he's down on his luck. His wife done cheated on him, and that one chick, that he could always kind of talk to, she end up being the one. She ends up being the one to revive him. But now this man is at a crossroad, because it's like this woman, she's giving me the soul food that I need. She's giving me the things I need, so I can revive myself. But on the flip side, she got this real bad past. Not bad past. She has a very promiscuous past, which in this day and time would be seen as bad. In this time, having a promiscuous past as a woman is seen as bad. So not only did he rise her up, to be a queen alongside of him, not only that, he went and had kids with her. Which was something that was not expected. Now think about the type of constant battle, and you're a king. You're supposed to be a king in front of all of these people, and when you broke up with your first wife, you was like, man, these women ain't shit. And now we see you, and not only has you elevated another woman up, you elevated a hoe up. Like, what? What's wrong with this dude? So when you think about, and the main reason why that this is the type of mentality, because what I had to do, I had to explain y'all the mentality. This is the reason why this mentality is the way it is. Because people, they a lot of people act like that they can accept change, and and all of that, but they really can't, because the biggest example of that would be Oshun in this type of right. Now we're bringing it back to spiritual. Now we're bringing it back to spiritual, to the spiritual essences, you know. So um so this is how this time can also represent Ishtar, because I gotta explain to y'all the alchemical makeup of Easter, because it's a lot of things. Just like how the story of Jesus was a lot of different stories, a lot of different things put together, that's how Easter was. A lot of different mythologies put together, and the spirituality was fully taken out of it, you know, fully taken out of it. And so going back to the spirituality of it, you know. So this essence is being redeemed by a version of femininity that, you know, is innocent at heart, but the perception of this particular version of femininity is not good. But is what you need in order for you to be in order for you to revive, you know. And so the relationship, so this relationship between Shango and Oshun, it was like one of those things that we knew that it would happen, but we didn't know that it would go this far. Now, this is something that Oshun wanted y'all to know. Um, the relationship between Shango and Oshun, it wasn't just a blip in time. It wasn't just a blip in time. Um, they ruled for a long time together, you know. And even now, you still see fragments of how great a Shango and a Oshun can be together. If 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 Shango, if he can put his ego to the side, and if Oshun, you know, if she can just be honest about her heart, if she can be honest at heart, and humble, and if Shango can stay keep his ego in check, still to this day, um a very powerful relationship is the Shango and Oshun relationship. So not only that, um something ended up springing from that union. Something ended up springing from that union that no one in the world ever suspected. You know, Oshun ended up giving birth to the Abeji twins, the Gemini twins. You know. Now, this is where it starts to get bittersweet, because um, with all of these factors being factored in, with all of these things being factored in, you know, the fact that Oshun represented, she's a queen of queens, but we know what queen means. You know, she represented the divine whore. She's put in a position to where she can rule over kingdoms. You know, with Shango, she's ruling with Shango. Not only that, now she gave him something. Not only did she give him kids, she gave him twins, which is something that you know, before they did it, only animals, only sheep, only animals were looked at as you know, who could give twins. You know, Oshun was the first in a human body form. She was the first one to have twins. You know, she was the first one. And you know, us being in this world, and we don't like change. You know, it's hard for us to accept change. it was that kingdom, the Oyo kingdom, was the same exact way. You know, they was the same exact way. And you know, they really did their part in in um in really um putting that wedge between Shango and Oshun. See, it was a lot deeper. The main thing that I want y'all to know, the wedge that started to get between Shango and Oshun, it wasn't just about the twins. It was everything else. It was everything else, and then the twins was like the icing on the cake. You know. So in Oya's words, she was like, I wouldn't have put my business out in the street like that. I wouldn't have told everybody about my twins. You know, I wouldn't have told everybody about my twins. But see, right now, Oya can't be trusted. You know, before they made their big announcement into the world to let everybody know that we just had twins, um, you know, Oya, she's transforming. You know, she's transforming. She's gonna be 808 soon. She's making her transformation. She'll be 808 soon. So she's like, yo, Oshun, um, because remember, Oya, she still walks between worlds, just like Legba, just like Eshu. So she knows how this one thing that's miraculous, that sounds miraculous to you, but it can destroy people's other people. Um, it can be destructive, and it can cause death of a relationship. But at this point right now, Oya can't be trusted because look what she did to Obanani. Now one day I'm gonna end up coming out with a video about Oya's secret because there was a reason why Oya had to do that to Obanani. You know, but it's one of those things to where it's like certain things has to happen. Certain things have to happen to you in order to get you to a certain place, in order to get you to a certain level. Certain things that you just won't understand. Certain things certain things on your journey. Spirit is not gonna tell you everything about what's gonna happen. You know, because at the end of the day, um, it's kind of hard to explain it, but it's almost like it's like um I don't know. It's hard to explain it, you know. But it's like it's certain lessons. I'm gonna say it like this. It's certain lessons that you have to learn, and you gotta get. There's a feeling that you get when you feel like you learned this lesson on your own. I'm gonna say it like that. There's a feeling that you get when you feel like you learned the lesson on your own, even though there may have been a mastermind behind the scenes that put certain events in certain situations so that you can come to this realization. I hope that was clear. So Oya, she tried to warn Oshun about telling everybody about her twins, you know, but she didn't listen. You know, she had an ego. She had a big ego. You know, she know she couldn't tell Shango. You know, Shango, you're like, look, if it ain't about work, I don't want to hear about it. If it ain't about work, I don't want to hear about it. So you know he didn't. Very understood. So you know he didn't want to hear about it. You know he didn't want to hear about it. So you know so that so uh um this is the beginning of spring, but it's also the beginning of the end. You know. So now let's talk about the soul family. You know, since I gave y'all the Orisha story behind it. So let's talk about the soul family. Let's go here. Let me take this off. All right. So right now, soul family, we are officially in spring. You know, we're officially in spring. You know, we got this Easter. So I say, so let me show y'all right quick before I get into that. Let me show y'all how everything is everything, because you know I have a everything is everything reading that is on my www.bandclaptv.com website. And if you all would like to get that, that is my bestseller. One of my top reading slash consultations that I give. So let me show you that everything is everything. So we know that spring. You know, we got Easter. You know, spring. We got Easter, and then we got the Abeji twins. You know, the Abeji twins represents the Gemini twins, and the Gemini twins represents the third house. You know, so right now, the first thing that you need to be springing into action is going to have a lot. It has a lot to do with your mindset. You know, are you still trying to express your uniqueness, because we're still in Aries. Are you still trying to express your uniqueness and your individuality in some work that haven't suited you, in some work that ain't in some work that haven't worked for you in I don't know how long. You know, in some work that was supposed to been dead. You know, because it starts in the mind. It starts in the mind first. Since we're talking about the the Ibeji twins. You know, so what are the three alchemical things that Easter is made of? You know, it's made out of three things. It's made out of three things. You have ether, you got ether, and then you got Esther. Those are the three things that Easter is made out of, and it's three because Gemini is in the third house. Gemini is at home in the third house. So this is everything is everything. So what does ether mean? So ether represents it represents a space in time. Dang, I just had it. Ether represented a space in time. Let me see. A space, stillness, that which contains and holds. You know. So ether is a space. Is space. Ether is space. So out of the ethers came Esther. You know, out of the ethers came Esther. You know, and the snake or the S was very influential in transforming ether to Esther. You know, So in between Ether and Esther, no, in between Ether and Esther, we have Ether. So we got Ether, which is a space and time. You know, it represents space, stillness, um, you know, and out of that, um, out of that stillness, out of that stillness came Esther. You know, and Esther represents the star. You know, a derivative name of Ishtar. So out of the stillness came a star. A star was born out of the stillness. But this snake, this Oya, this snake, this S, there had to this S had to be put in the middle in order to transform this word from ether to Esther. Now, what is a ether? So a ether, if y'all played RPG games, you will know that a ether is a tincture. A ether is a tincture that that revives your magical powers, your MP, your magical powers. So let's put it together. So out of the ethers, which is a stillness, a calmness, a space, came this essence that is a ether. And this essence is a tincture that can revive you magically. And this is what is housed in Esther. This is the essence that Esther has inside of her. I hope y'all get that. So Esther, the goddess energy, which is the star, which represents the star card, tarot card. So the essence that is inside of Esther, the essence that is inside of Esther is a essence that can revive you magically. It can revive you. Very magical, very powerful. You know, if you're a magical being, you need some ethers. You need some. And so you can keep your magical power replenished. You know? But it all started with the ether. You know? It all started with the ether. It all started with a space, a stillness. You know, still water is dead water. So out of dead space, there's an essence that can if you can get this essence, it can revive you magically revive you. You know, it can revive your magical powers, and this is a star. You know. So what does Ishtar represent in the modern world? You know? So Ishtar, she represents that one chick, that one baddie that came out the hood, you know? And she never lost her essence. She never lost her divine feminine essence, even though she participated in thoughtastic activities. You know, shout out to MTR and BOA. She participated in thoughtastic activities, but she didn't know who she was. You know, so she was participating in these thoughtastic activities with these men, and it's like the men that she had sex with, she was healing them men, and she didn't realize what she was doing. You know, Sister Esther. So this is what Esther was doing. This is what Esther was doing in the hood. You know, she was having sex This is what Esther was doing. She was having sex with these dudes, and she was healing them. She was empowering these dudes. You know. So with that being said, you know, Esther don't got no trauma. She don't got no sexual trauma. You know. She don't got no sexual trauma. She just like to have sex, and she likes the feeling of um of men telling her how much she healed them after they had sex. You know. And I actually know some women with this Esther energy, and you know, their stories are pretty interesting, to say the least. You know. Now the thing about it is, since this Esther is the star, but it came out of dead space. You know, it came out of a dead past. It came out of a dead space. Um, there's no like, you can't look at her and be like, oh, because of your past, you was this, or because of your past, that's why you're like this. To a real Esther, you can't say that. You know, because Esther grew up with both of her parents, and they loved her. You know, Esther grew up with both of her parents. You know, so she don't have this same sexual trauma type of story that a lot of the other the women the modern women that you know that are hoes. You know, but it goes back to the fact that since a lot of us don't meditate, since a lot of us don't know how to tap in to where you can literally tap into the Akashic records and dial back how we used to, how and dial back and see how we used to be. You know, sex was open. It was always open with us. We didn't have no such thing. There was no such thing as simp. There was no such thing as a nigga not being able to get no poom poom. It just you know, even the villagers were fine as hell. You know, and the divine feminine was on top. You know, and when you think about the divine feminine, there was this video. There was this video that I was looking at of this girl, and she was in the car. She was talking about, oh, um, this dude put a comment on her video talking about uh what he said. I'm not finna play stepdaddy to no kids that ain't mine. You know, this woman, she got like 4 kids, and he was like, yo, I'm not finna be no stepdaddy to no kids that ain't mine. You know, and and she commented back, and she was saying something about, you know, she she hurled some insults at him, but then after the insults, she said something like, you know, you you should want to you know, take in the kids and love them as if they're your own. You know, now what what grandmother in the hood that you know that did that? A lot of the grandmothers in the hood was like that, because that's what the divine feminine does. They love children. They don't care. You know, and if a woman loves you enough, she'll take care of some children that's not necessarily hers because she love you. So she'll take care of some kids that's not necessarily hers. You know, because she love you, and she loves, and she looks at those children. She look at those children as something that's innocent. You know, mine did. Yeah, mine did too. You know, and I was very I was very appreciative of that. You know. Oh dang, hold on. Oh, my phone is on 4%. I'm trying to plug this. Okay, I think I got it. Is it is it plugged in? Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Let me make sure this phone plugged in. Hold up. There you go. Yo, let me know if y'all can see me. Put a one in the chat if you can still hear me. I had to unplug my mic so I can hook my phone up to the charger. Can y'all hear me? Okay, yeah, it's still show that I'm good. But yeah, you know, so that's what the divine feminine does. That's what the divine feminine does. You know, they and they'll do it. They'll do it in a happy, jolly, you know, with a smile on their face. Come on in. Oh, you must be Rodney. You must be Rodney other son. You know, you must be Rodney other son by Shaniqua. Come on in, child. Come on in. You hungry? Have you ate? Have you ate today? You know, because at the end of the day, going back to what I was saying before, when women love, they love in a blessed assurance type of way. You know, so blessed assurance. You know, especially if you was a woman and you really you know you made straight A's in Yemoya's school of femininity. Not only were you able to satisfy and nurture, but you had a lot of love to give. You had a lot of love to give, and everybody got enough portions. You know, your cauldron, the cauldron that you had, it was overflowing with so much soul food that it wasn't enough for just one person. It wasn't enough for just your family. You know, you had enough soul food to feed half the village and still have leftovers. You know, so even though you're feeding all of these hungry people with your soul food, you still don't feel like you're depleted because you got enough to give. You got a lot to give. You know, that is the energy of a divine whore when she is at her peak of femininity. And energy don't die. You know, we got Shangos, Oshuns, Ishtars, you know, Sekhmets. We got gods and goddesses here among us today. It's just messed up that since we don't know who we are, we can't use our power to liberate ourselves. We have to use our power to make somebody else rich, to liberate somebody else. So somebody else can look at you and tell their kids how not to be. You know, there was this meme. There was this meme that I was looking at, and it was saying that Bill Gates, Bill Gates, he don't even hardly let his children get on the computer like that. And then he put tape on his microphone and on his webcam. Um, and on down the line, you know, Steve Jobs, he didn't want his kids with no iPhone. You know, all of that. So going back to this, let me pull up this chart right quick. Give me 1 second. I'm about to pull up this chart so I can have it on my end. Backward. Give me 1 second. Go back again, because I want to make sure I got what y'all got. Okay. All right. So, soul family, it is time now in this springtime. It is time now for you to transform your desires, your mood. You need to clean up house. You need to clean up house in your instinctive reactions, in your unconscious mind, your predestination. You need to uncover those things in your subconscious mind that makes you uncomfortable with change. You know, um, it's time for you to transform what you've been imagining, because a lot of these things that you've been imagining, being honest, you don't want to bring that shit into this new world, into this new into the new spring, you know, because this is like the rise. You know, this is the rise. This is the start of the rise. You know, this is the resurrection. And there's a lot of things that's going to be resurrecting with this Scorpio being in the 12th house. There's a lot of things that's going to be resurrecting, but it don't mean that just because it's rearing its head, it don't mean that you need to participate in it. You know, Oya never left Shango. You know, she said, I want to get that clear. I never left Shango. We just stopped having a monogamous type of relationship. But I never left him, you know? Because at the end of the day, um whether you want to be in a relationship or not, or whatever, um if you and that person have a really really good business relationship and y'all can make money together, you know, fuck having the lowest level of communication, because there's a bigger goal now. And Oya wants to be Aunt Yansa to the Ibeji twins, you know. So the Ibeji twins, that is a allegory of what happens um to a state, you know, a person, place, or thing, or situation that you feel like is dead. You know, you feel like they ain't never coming back. You feel like it's all hope is lost. And then all of a sudden a star comes. Honey, you are my shining star. Don't you go away. You know, a shining star comes along and illuminates what was perceived to be inanimate. So now there's something new that is rising up from the ashes, the phoenix rising up from the ashes, and it's a two-headed bird. It's a two-headed bird because we're in this duality. So it's a two-headed bird. You know, you got a babu that is a feminine, and then you got another babu which is a masculine, which means that right now, new thoughts and new feelings and new emotions are in the air. You know, new innocent thoughts that can get you to the place that you always wanted to go in expressing your uniqueness and individuality, because we're still in Aries season. You know, um there's new thoughts, there's new feelings and new emotions that if you can just tap in, if you can just tap in right now and get into this spirit of spring, so you can go with the flow and get these new thoughts, get these new ideas, like what I'm doing with this animation. um the only way that you can't be on the wave is if you got all this baggage on your surfboard weighing you down. You gonna always topple over. you know you gonna always topple over. You that dude that's trying to surf and you got hella shit in your pocket and you don't want none of it to get wet. You got your phone in your pocket. You know, you got a pocket PC. You got the new iPhone. You got all this stuff in your pocket that you don't want it to get wet. But it's like you trying to get out there and ride the wave. But the way you're doing it, you're not gonna be able to fully immerse in the newness. You know, um, there's a time there's a time that we're in right now to where, um, you know, if you did this correctly, if you did this correctly, you know, where um you were able to transform those old desires, those outdated desires that need to die, those outdated things in your subconscious mind that keeps you from wanting to change, all that type of stuff. Um, if you were able, if you were doing this correctly, if you're doing this correctly, then it's gonna show when it comes to the new way that you're choosing to express yourself now. You know, now just like the story that I said, um, you know, just because this is something that's gonna make you a king or make you a queen or whatever, everybody don't need to know your business. Everybody don't need to know your business. You know, because if you're able to pull this off, it's gonna be a miracle and it's gonna make you the GOAT. You know, but just like with the story of Oshun and the Ibeji twins, if you let too much of the wrong people into your new ideas and your new emotions and your new feelings, if you let too many outside dead people that's zombies, they're dead because they still got baggage from the winter, and they still got baggage from the fall of last year and all of that. um you're gonna find yourself retreating from your throne to go cry in the cave, like how Oshun did. You know, they messed up Oshun so bad. She barely wanted them kids no more after they shunned and ridiculed her so bad. You know, Oya and Yemoya had to come in and take care of the twins. Fill in to be the mother figure for the twins, because after Oshun was just so confident, she was just so proud, so like, yo, I just did this great thing. I just had these twins. This is just the most beautiful thing ever. And you just get met with all this hate. You just get met with all this disdain out of the same people that when you turned into that ugly bird and you decided that you wanted to go, because you didn't want innocent people to die in that storm. So you turned into that ugly bird so you can save the people. Those are the same people that when now it's time for your miracle, now it's time for your blessing, now it's time for you to be the GOAT. This is when you find out, who your real friends are, who your real who's really gonna stick by you, And you can find this out right now before Virgo season comes along. You know, you can find this out right now before Virgo season comes along. Because be careful. Number one, be careful of who you're telling these brand new ideas to, these brand new springtime ideas and these brand new springtime emotions and these brand new, because that's the Ibeji energy. You know, that's what the Ibeji energy is about. You know, different ideas, different emotions, different things that's gonna alter and change your mindset, because the mind is all and the universe is mental. You know, so it always has to start in the mind. That's why the Ibeji twins, you know, they're the most powerful. They're the most powerful because if one of the twins dies, you know, it can literally kill a nation. There's a lot of real deep mythology with the Ibeji twins, you know, and the baby Eshu, he's just happy because now he has some new friends, some new baby friends that he can play with. You know, so the baby Eshu, you know, he's super happy. He's super happy with this. Wait, hold on. And as you can see, wait, I'm trying to go back. Go back. Okay. So yeah, as you can see right now, because when before I took this screenshot, the midheaven was in Leo. But, you know, as of now, the midheaven is in Virgo. You know? So at the end of the day, you know, it's all about the kids. It's all about the kids. You know? What transformation are you going to make now to your desires? What transformation are you going to make now to you know, to those repressed emotions and those repressed things that need to be transformed, so that you can start to work on creatively, because Aries is in the 5th house. You know, Shango is in Oshun's house, you know, because they're having twins. So it makes sense. It makes sense that Aries is in the 5th house, and it's in 28 degrees in the 5th house. You know, they made love for hours. You know, so it's all about the kids. So what are you gonna do now so that you can create a better creative future for the kids, for your kids, for the twins? You know, so Oya, so this is what Oya had to do. You know, Oya, she had to transform her desire to be with Shango in a monogamous relationship, because at the end of the day, she wanted to be a muse for the kids. You know, she wanted to be a creative muse for the Ibeji twins. You know, for Oshun's kids, and she can't do that with a jealousy mindset, with a jealousy with jealous desires. So Oya, she had to transform into Aunt Yansa. She had to transform into Aunt Yansa. You know, so that way, you know, she's not 808 just yet. A lot of you know, sometimes Oya, she'll just stop at Aunt Yansa. You know, sometimes she'll stop there, and then, you know, other times she'll make her full transformation into 808, which is beyond time, which is beyond this existence. I got this short that I want to make, this animation that I want to make about Mama Wado. You know, I want to make this animation about Mama Wado, because this was a vision that I had of you know, these kids. You know, it's crazy how kids have access to all of these super powerful ancestor energies. Like this is why getting to know your inner child, getting to know your inner child is so important. Um, because these kids, they was always around Mama Wado. They was always around her, and they were the only ones that wasn't scared. Like they'd be like, Mama Wado, Mama Wado, do the do the dragon thing, do the dragon thing. She was like, really? Y'all want me to do that? Oh, y'all. And then they're like, please, please, Mama Wado, please, Mama Wado, can you do the dragon thing, please? You know, and Mama Wado, all right, just don't be scared. And then I'm not gonna tell you, I'm not gonna say how she does it because I want that to be in the animation. But yeah, Ada Wado, when she's in her full like dragon form, woo! You talking about Shenron off of Dragon Ball Z times a billion. Ada Wado is extremely like her energy is literally out of this world. You know, I love Ada Wado. Okay, so you know, if Oya had to transform, so that she can be in the presence of the change, you know, what makes you no different? I guess it shows we have to go through everything for a reason. Cause I was wondering why Obatala or Yumi didn't explain to her um they were a blessing. Wait, what? Cause I was wondering why Obatala and Yumi didn't explain to her that it was a blessing. See, and this is something that you can study about your own children. You know, you can tell your child, you can tell your daughter to your vocal cords turn blue, that she's special, that she's beautiful. You know, you can tell your daughter that she's a queen, she's a little princess, all of these type of things. But if that boy that she like, if that boy she love, tell her that she ain't shit, she a piece of shit, and all the social crowds around her say that you a piece of shit, then you know that's just, I hate to say it, but that's how it is. You know, that's how a lot of Oshuns are rigged up. You know, that's how that energy, that's how that essence is rigged up. It's all about it's all about the perception of the outer crowd. It's the perception of the in crowd. So the biggest thing about Oshun, you gotta keep her from a lot of shit. If you got a baby girl and she's a baby Oshun, there's a lot of things you gotta be able to create such a world that you can keep her from a lot of shit until she gets old enough to fully understand her essence and you know and all of that stuff. You know, that's really the only way. And like I said, you got to create a world. You got to create a world where your baby Oshun is not going to public school. You got to create a world to where your baby Oshun don't watch the media unless you're going to be an Obatala and explain in full detail everything that she's looking at, so she won't internalize it as, oh, this is something that I want to be. Like, it's very like you know, and I almost had a daughter and I didn't even know about this information. You know, this is all stuff that I would have found out, you know, if my twins, Melanie and Aiden, if they were alive today, they would be 5 years old. I would have 2 5-year-olds, you know, living a totally different life. I probably, shoot, I don't know. I ain't even gonna say it, but I'll be living a totally different life. I wouldn't be doing this. I know that much. You know? So, what are some things, what are some desires that you need to transform because I gotta hit y'all with this before I go. So what are 12 things, 12 quick things that you need to transform about your desires, about the past? What are some things in the past, in your past desires and stuff like that, that you need to transform so that you can finally be able to um to tap into this newness, this spring newness type of energy, so that you can finally express yourself creatively like you've always wanted to, you know? So first, in the first house, we got ascendant in Sagittarius, you know? So the thing in the past, you need to, all of those past experiences that you went through, all the past experiences that you didn't extract the wisdom from, and the reason why you couldn't extract the wisdom from it, because it gave you a real bad person public it gave you a real bad perception, you know? That's something that you need to transform. That you need to you need to extract the wisdom. You need to extract the wisdom from those things and change your personality so that you can get into this newness, spring type of energy. Okay. Second house, Capricorn. Second house is in Capricorn. You know, so you need to transform your stubbornness when it comes to your self-esteem and your values and all of that, because you're missing out. You're missing out on your power. You know, Pluto is here in Capricorn. You know, so the thing about it is, if you don't want to change this, Pluto is going to change this for you. And even though it's gonna destroy everything, you know, you're gonna bounce back from this. You're gonna spring back from this, and this is what's gonna make you the GOAT. So if you don't want Pluto to do this in a bad way, it will behoove you to, while we're in this springtime, you need to really be looking at these unstable values towards possessions, these unstable and overly sensitive self-esteem and self-worth issues that you may have. Get to the bottom of it. Use Oya and Akasha, because right now, Oya, she's in the underworld with Obanani. You know, she's in the underworld with Obanani, and Obanani, she's Akasha. So if you can't pinpoint it, you don't want to get an everything is everything reading. You can meditate, go into the Akashic records, and see what was that experience that you went through, that gave you this old-fashioned, old way sense of self-worth and self-value, because that needs to change if you want to be able to use this Sun and Aries in the 5th house, this spring type of energy, because we're about to go into Taurus. So Shango is trying to get you some justice and some power before Taurus season comes in. So 3rd house, your mindset. Okay, Aquarius. So you need to transform this mindset that you know it all. You need to transform this mindset that you think you know it all. Because at the end of the day, Vesta in Aquarius being here in the 3rd house, this makes you a withdrawn, envious, and selfish character with a strong misanthropic tendencies. You can achieve success in all occupations requiring discretion, excellent investigation skills such as police or intelligence. You must refrain from using one's shrewdness with the purpose to sow discord, suspicion, and slanders, lest life ends up in loneliness and poverty. You know, so you know, so that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't want to transform this mindset that you think you know it all, that you think you can investigate everything, and your mind is just so your mind is just so perfect that you can't do no wrong. You're just so intelligent. You're just so perfect that you can't do no wrong. You know, because right now Saturn is in Aquarius, so something is gonna happen because Libra is in the 11th house. You're gonna meet your match. That's the consequence. The consequence is you're gonna meet your match, and that I hope that your ass can cash that check that your mouth wrote. I hope so. You know. Now, if not, if you chose to heed this message and transform this desire to have this mindset that you know it all and can't nobody tell you nothing, you know, you're gonna end up associating with people who with new people, new places, new things, associating with new partnerships that's gonna get you to that Aries in the 5th house type of level where you can finally express yourself, express your uniqueness and creativity in a way that's gonna make you the Jah Lion. Because we also got Juno here. So and the thing about it is, this is who you are. This is if you were able to take that intelligent mind that you have and use it towards something constructive, you would actually be someone great. Because Juno in Aquarius, this talks about a honest, rigid, and fair character, regardless of the social layer to which one belongs. This talks about someone rises to an exceptionally prominent position and becomes famous in their field of competence. Authority and grandeur, but you can't do it alone. So we got help. We got help. All you gotta do is just change your mind. If you could just change your mind and use that intellect to what you're supposed to use it on, that alone can make you start associating with the right people that can put you in a prominent position where you can creatively express your uniqueness and individuality. So right now, as far as this screenshot, Libra is in the 11th house, but since things change and all of that, it may be a little different now, but this is what it was. Me doing this live, but it's the fact of the matter still stands. So fourth house. So when it comes to your 4th house, when it comes to your home, the way you look at your roots, the way you look at your heritage and all of that type of stuff, you have to come to a truthful, what's the word? Because the 4th house is in Pisces, which deals with which being in La La Land. You got to stop basing your misfortune off of your upbringing. That's what it is. You got to stop basing your chaotic desires and your chaotic subconscious mind It got to get to a point in your life where you got to stop looking at your, you got to stop blaming it on your upbringing, because that's too easy, you know, especially if you're someone who's privy to this knowledge and you know about shadow work. You know about getting to know your inner child. You're just procrastinating, you know? And Mars, wait, so Mars was in the third house. So again, you know, this is going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. But at the end of the day, love is on your side. Venus and Pisces, you know? And this is the third house, cuz I didn't look at these planets right here. Let me see. So Neptune in Pisces, because at the end of the day, the reason why that's a cop out, because Neptune, this talks about delusions, carelessness, deception, you know, dishonesty, escapism. You're escaping from your problems. You're escaping from problems that you can actually solve if you put your mind to it, and you just put it to, oh man, you know, I'm just a black man in America, man. You know, you know they don't like to see the black man win. You know, oh, you know, I'm just a black woman in America. You know that there's always been a war against the black woman. You know, all of this. You know, I grew up in the hood. You know, I grew up in the hood, so you know, it ain't really nothing better I can do. Think about if Oshun had that mentality. You know, the star that came out of nothingness. You know, Mama Chola, the soul food master. You know, when you think about your grandmothers and your Mama Cholas back in the day, what was the main thing that they was all known for doing? They was always known for being able to make something out of nothing. You know, and not only did they make something out of nothing, they made some fire. That food was good. You know, you don't know what was all in it, but all I know is that kitchen was smelling good. You know. So at the end of the day, you know, this may be hard for a lot of people to transform this, you know, because Oya and Yemoya, you know, this is the fight that they have, you know, because Oya, she wants Yemoya to fully, you know, transform. She like, yo, you can transform without, you can transform you know, just with your mindset. You don't have to have sex with somebody to transform. You know, every time Yemoya got with a new person or got with a new god, she transformed. You know. So Jupiter, you know, for the longest, your expansion in power, you got some people that get expansion in power by talking about how bad black people got it, and that's why we're so low, and that's why we're so messed up because of slavery and all of that stuff. You got people who got expansion in power from doing that. You know, talking about, oh, you know the reason why you in that position because you came up in the hood and all of this other stuff. You know, and it's like, okay, that may be true, but what are you doing today? What are you doing today that can change that? That can change your situation, not the black community, not the world at large, you know, but what are you doing in your life that can change your situation? You know? So fifth house, your creative impulses. You know, you gotta change your creative impulses. You know, that kundalini that you feel rising up, You can do a lot more with that kundalini than just have sex. You can do a lot more. You can do a lot more. And midheaven and Virgo, this is what we're all gonna be working on during the spring. You know, because every time, especially now, that Chiron in Aries is really gonna rear its ugly head, because a lot of our childhood wounds come from the fourth house. A lot of our childhood wounds come from the fourth house, which is the reason why we're in a dream world land when we're talking about the fourth house. This is the reason why it's so hard for baby Oyas to do shadow work. It's hard for us to do shadow work because in order for you to do shadow work, you got to go back to the one thing that you've been in a la la land about your whole life, which is your childhood. You know? Now, you being able to transform the way you look at this fifth house, which is entertainment, you transforming the impulsive things that you would do for entertainment, the impulsive things that you would do for pleasure, the impulsive things that you would do that would result in you having unwanted kids. You know, you being able to transform that is going to make you a domineering, careful, and trustworthy character. One has the capacity to fight against all kinds of opponents. However, one must understand that people are entitled to have different opinions and lifestyles. You know, this is the main thing that Shango and Oshun, they failed to realize this. They thought at least Oshun, she thought everybody was gonna be happy about her and her twins. And when things didn't go the way she thought that they would go, you know, she ran and cried. She ran off the throne. She ran off the throne, you know, into a cave and cried a river. And you know, and then she turned into a baby, and then she went in the forest and she ran in the forest so she could find the baby Eshu. And the baby Eshu was like, "What are you doing? Well, why are you here? Well, what are you doing?" And Oshun, "I don't want to be in the body no more." "I don't want to be in the body no more." And Eshu was like, but you gotta go do that. You know, you can't be here because I'm doing stuff, and you're not supposed to be over here. You know. So, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, you know. So, so what I said. However, one must understand that people are entitled to have different opinions and lifestyles, and they must be respected. Otherwise, one may spark off relentless resistance, serious ordeals, and unnecessary trouble in both the private and public spheres. And you know, when we get to the death of Shango, that was one of the things that was a part of his demise, because he just couldn't understand that. You know, sixth house, the thing that you got to transform about your work ethic, so that you can be in the spring energy. You got to have a stable work ethic. You know, and whatever is unstable, whatever is unstable about your work ethic, you need to nip that in the bud right now. Work on it. You got to nip it in the bud right now. You know, got to nip it in the bud right now. So that way, you can be within this new energy. You know, and with fortune being right here, this is going to make you a humble, accommodating, and hard-working character. One who appreciates well-done work and dedicates their life to other people. Endeavors aiming at defending the cause of justice and fraternity are fully rewarded. A man with a rod symbolizes a protection against hatred and negative forces. This degree endows with great moral authority, and at its higher level, gifts for occultism. You know? So again, this work ethic, you know, and with you having this new mindset, this new Beiji mindset that it's about the kids, you know, the mindset of your inner child, it's gonna be easy for you to do this. You know, um, you're gonna communicate. You're gonna be communicating with people, places, things, and situations that's gonna let you know what's up about that. You know, and at the end of the day, your need for individual freedom, originality, and independence, you know, let that be your motivation to keep your work ethic stable, because you on a mission, you got a goal. You know, let that be your goal. You know, and at the end of the day, your north node, aka, this is what's truly gonna make you the GOAT. If you can follow this 1 through 6, this is what can really make you the GOAT. But then if you go from 7 to 12, you know, pussyfooting around, you know, you got your work ethic, you got all that. So you know, so you think everything is good because 7 through 12 don't really got no planetary alignments. Again, the pride comes before the fall, you know. But this time, I said this before. The kids are the real voodoo. People be talking about voodoo. Voodoo is the kids. That's the kids. You know, that's the voodoo. The voodoo is the child. You know, because the child, you know, you can't just you can get rid of you can't get rid of no child. You know, you gonna be stuck with that child. So if somebody put a child on you, you know, that's you know, it'll behoove you to put the right type of tools in that world, so that world can take care of you when you get old. You know. So 7. The one thing that you need to the one thing that you need to transform your desire, to when you're in your partnerships, and stuff like that, your desire to talk about all of the bad, you know, all the craziness that goes on in your relationship. Cut that out. You know, not everybody needs to know about the bullshit that you're going through in your relationships. Not everybody needs to know about that. You know, again, this was the downfall of the Queen Oshun. She cared too much about what everybody thought about her and her twins, to the point that she almost gave up her gift. You know, I got a whole 3-part series on Oshun where I talked about that. You know? So when we talk about the Ibeji twins, and their personality, so when it comes to the Ibeji twin, that's a girl. The Ibeji twin, that's the girl. She is intelligent, devoted, philanthropist character. Life is dedicated to the alleviation of people's physical and moral suffering. Adoption is possible. Again, what did I tell you? See, man, I be I be knowing what I be talking about sometimes. Literally, I said everything is everything when it came to the Ibeji twins. You know, it was a situation where, you know, Oshun didn't want them no more like that. Now she eventually changed her mind, but you know, there was a period where she didn't want them no more. So they got adopted by by Oya and Yemoya. You know, so in this it says adoption is possible. You know, a medical practitioner, a scientist, a priest. You know, that Abeji twin girl, she's extremely powerful. Now, when we look at the boy, the Abeji twin boy, you know, discreet, shrewd, clear-sighted character, endowed with extrasensory perception. Wealth and fame can be achieved in the military. You know, so this is the boy twin. This is the essence of the boy twin, the boy Ibeji twin. You know, especially science, pharmaceutical research. You know, it makes sense that the Beji twin girl, she wants to be a healer, and then the boy is going to do the research to help her with learning about that. You know, most often thanks to the support of powerful friends. You know, enemies are easy to overcome. You know, powerful friends. You know, the Abeji twins are protected by Shango. You know, that's the most powerful entity that you can have protecting you. And Oya and Yemoya and the baby issue. Man, you don't got a need for nothing. So these Ibeji twins are super protected. You know? Okay, translation. I said the Ibeji twins, they're protected by Shango. They're protected by Eshu. They're protected by Oya and Yemoya. You know? So these are the 4 layers. Again, we got the number 4. We got this number 4 that keep coming up. So these are the 4 layers. These are the 4 layers that you gotta be able to get past. You know, that you gotta be able to petition these 4 layers in order for you to even get to the Ibeji twins, because they're so protected. You know. So the first thing, you know, you gotta have a justice. You gotta have a justice type of mindset, like Shango, because you know, as long as you got a justice mindset, that's gonna protect those innocent thoughts, you know, emotions and feelings of you trying to, you know, do what you're supposed to do. That's what's gonna protect that. You know, this is all allegory. This is allegory, talking about the alchemical makeup of you. That's what these Orishas represent. You know, the alchemical makeup of you and your soul and your essence. You know, so I'm always going to be jumping in between worlds like the baby Eshu to let y'all know that. So Eshu, you know, as long as you got innocence running around, as long as you have a connection with innocence, you'll always have access to the Ibeji twins. You'll always have access to the Ibeji twins. You know. I don't know why, I just had this thought. Oshun rather be a baby than a mama. I don't know. I guess somebody need to hear that. Oshun rather be a baby. She rather be a baby. She rather be a baby than a mama. You know. So the baby Oshun is running around with her kids, and they're all babies. And when you think about this energy with bodies on them, you know, this is the baby mama that's friends. You know, her daughters are like her friends. Her daughters are her close friends. You know, she don't act like a mom more than she acts like their best friend. And that can be that can be, you know, that could work in some situations, and it can be very toxic in other situations. You know? But yeah, I'm gonna keep quiet. Yeah, you know, Oshun, sometimes she rather be a baby than a mama, cause that's a lot of responsibility. It's like she love kids, she love the essence of kids, but the responsibility of kids, man. You know, Oshun, she got to be Mama Chola. She got to be Mama Chola in order for her to love, you know, um, the responsibility of having kids, the commitment of having kids, because that's what when with Oshun, that's the one thing that truly teaches her commitment is having kids. If nothing else teaches her commitment, is having kids, you know. And then Oya, you know, as long as you keep your house in order, and when I say your house, they say your body is your temple. As long as you keep your body in good shape, your spirit, your house in order, you know, you're not surrounded by chaos and destruction and death. You'll always you'll always be exposed, because we're talking about Scorpio. You will always be exposed to the Ibeji twins. You will always be exposed to them. You know, because as long as you got a clean house, you know, as long as your house is in order, you know, Oya, she approves. She will approve of you, um, you know, being exposed to the Abeji twins, because she understands how innocent these thoughts and these feelings and these emotions. Um, she understands how innocent these are, and she understands the destruction that a dirty minded individual can do with these innocent thoughts, emotions, and feelings, and stuff like that. She understands it. If nobody else understands the destruction that a dirty minded individual can have if they have access to these particular thoughts, feelings, and emotions, Oya knows it, because she's the goddess of it. I hope that makes sense. And then Yemoya, you know, um, the more you're connected to the divine feminine, you'll always have access to all of the Ibeji twins. Not only the Ibeji twins, but all of Yemoya's children. Yemoya has some very bright children. Not just the Orishas that all y'all know. Yemoya got some very, very bright children. Very, very interesting types of children. She got many different types of children. You know, somebody sent the video about this mermaid. This mermaid, you know, Yemoya got a bunch of different types of children. I don't know if that was real or not. You know. Okay. So when it comes to the eighth house, when it comes to the eighth house, you gotta transform. You gotta transform these desires, um, and these subconscious patterns, and these dead dreams that need to be transformed, so that you can live, so that you can finally be able to creatively express yourself in a unique and individual way in this springtime, like all of us should be doing. You know, um, stop basing your emotional security off of good sex and nothing else. You know, and this is for my women, for my ladies, and this is also for my older guys. You know, um, stop basing your emotional security off of just sex, off of just sex. You know, off of just physical sex. You know, stop basing your because at the end of the day, is think about a crab. You know, this is a crab that can't really come out of its shell unless it's fucking. You know, so you're not really transforming. You're not really, doing what you need to do, because you're comfortable in the chaos. You're comfortable in the chaos. You know, You manifested to me through another channel. Wow. Okay. That's dope. But yeah, um, because at the end of the day, if you keep this up, if you're the type of person that would rather be comfortable and have emotional security in chaos, you know, um, this is gonna make you a lazy, petty, and nasty character, loathing effort. A lazy and petty and nasty character, loathing effort. Despite a complete lack of despite a complete lack of skills, important positions are obtained through low, cunning manipulations um and this describes a charlatan who conceals their slyness and their meanness under apparent indifference and quietness. And y'all know people, old people that's like this. They just comfortable in the chaotic in their chaotic life, but they always miserable. You know, they always miserable. They always talk about, oh man, you know, the system got us down, the government got us down. You know, I'm just finna, just trick off and jack off. You know, cause ain't nothing out here. You know, that's the worst type of mentality to have. You know, and you're never gonna come out of your shell long enough to transform. Even a hermit crab got to change his shell every once in a while. You know, so what make you any different? You know, Yemoya transformed a bunch of times. Obatala transformed a bunch of times. You know, so what make you any different? Ninth house. Ninth house. If you want to transform the desires that you got to transform, these deep subconscious patterns, deep dreams that's not gonna work. You got to transform these things. Ninth house. Um, you got to transform your ego. You got to transform your ego in the presence of wisdom. I'm gonna say it like that. You got to transform your ego in the presence of wisdom. That's what it is. You know, when it got to a point, where Shango got so high up, he thought that he was better than his father. I didn't know this at first. I'm like, huh? He would never. But yes, you know, that was and that was when he had a great fall, like Humpty Dumpty. There was a time, there was a point in time, there was a point in time where Shango got so high up in popularity that his father was trying to tell him certain things to look out for, and he was like, "Yo, Dad, I got it, I'm good. I appreciate you for all the, all that you've helped me with and raised me up, but I'm my own man now. I got it. I don't need your help no more. I'm straight. I got it. I'm good. You see how I bounced back? You know, you see how I bounced back after the last thing that you told me to do and it fell through. So, I got this. I got it. I'm good. You know. And Obatala trying to give him some wisdom, and he like, no, I'm straight. You fucked up my life enough. You've messed up my life enough with Obanani. I'm not listening to you. I found love. Me and Oshun, I found love. We're gonna have a beautiful kingdom together, and one day we're gonna surpass you and Yemoya. Now these are all things that once Shango shed this body and he became a baby again, he realized like, damn, I was really fucked up in the head when I was down there on Earth. let me let me warn my people. Let me go. Let me warn my people. Some of us get like that now. We all get like that when we get a certain age. You know, that's it's a part of life. And then, you know, if you're truly um if you've truly turned a new leaf and you've truly transformed into that godly man, you know, you gotta go back and apologize to your father. You know, and if you didn't know your father, you gotta go out on a journey to find your father. You're like, Dad, you know, I know I blamed you for a lot of stuff when I was a kid. You know, my mom said, you know, my mom was like, you ain't shit. You just like your daddy. Your daddy ain't shit. He left me, you know, and I had a lot of disdain for you when I was a child, you know, and I didn't know no better, you know. But now that we've talked and I've heard your story and you told me about all the times that you tried to come and see me, you know, but then you know, my mom would say, oh, this the mailman or something like that, wouldn't let me go outside. You know, now you told me about um all the times that you wanted to be at my games, and all the times that you wanted to be in my life, but it was really my mom that held that back. You know, all the money that you sent me that I never got, all the checks that you've been paying faithfully every year. You paid child support for 18 years and you never missed a payment, and I was struggling. You know, I was struggling, and my mom was like, you know, the reason why you don't got the nicest clothes and all that is because, you know, your bullshit daddy. You know, so this is the heart to heart. You know, this is the heart to heart that when Shango had his great fall and he shed this body and he turned back into a baby, you know, he had to have that talk with his father, like, yo, man, you know, I apologize. I apologize. You know, this is the reason why the Shango energy is clear. Shango cleared his karma. I'm gonna say that. The Shango energy is clear. Even though we have stories of the past. Even though we have stories of the past, these Orisha energies, they have transformed who they once was. You know? Crazy, I had to come to that realization with my dad doing shadow work. He passed, so I never got to have that conversation. Yeah, but you can have that conversation through meditation. You know, you can meditate. You know, create you an altar. Think about, you know, if you knew some of the things that your father liked, you know, make a little section for him. It don't got to be no super religious, you know, mystical voodoo type shit. You know, just have you a little section in the house, and say this section is for my dad to come through. You know, have his favorite things there. You know, it's like a diorama. It's like a spiritual diorama. Remember when you was a kid and you would make a diorama and you would put you know, it was like a small environment. It was like a baby environment that you would create out of like a box or something, like a shoebox, you know, and provide a medium for him to talk. You know, everybody got their own way. Everybody got their own thing. You know, a lot of times spirit comes to me since my mom has uploaded so many songs in my mind. That's why I'm such a good DJ. My mom has uploaded so many songs in my mind that sometimes spirit comes to me in the form of a song in my head. And I'm like, wait, why am I thinking about Michael Jackson, You Are Not Alone? You know, wait, why am I thinking about you know, I make a mistake, I'm going through something in my life. Why all of a sudden main ingredient everybody plays the fool sometimes just pop up in my head? Do, 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 do. Everybody plays the fool. And it just turns my whole mood around. I'm like, man, you know what? Everybody plays the fool sometimes. No, it's no exception to the rule, you know? So everybody got their own thing. We gotta learn how to stop spookifying this shit. Because we gotta revolutionize. That's what Shango was. He didn't want to kill the old way. He didn't kill Ogun, but he wanted to revolutionize the way that energy was to be portrayed. Got his kufi on the altar, a foul cause he smoked, and his oils. Now you gotta create a communication device. You gotta create a communication device where they can come through and talk. You know, and then once you got that, you on and popping. You know, you on and popping, and create a door that he can go out. So when you got company over, your dad ain't just moping around the house. You got him a door where he can go out and go back into the spirit world. But he can always come back. He can always come to and fro to check on you and see how you doing. That's how we need to. That's how we have to look at this stuff. You know. Um. So yeah. You know, if you see if somebody is trying to give you some wisdom about a road that you're going, they see the road that you're going. You know, they see how it's affecting your personality, and all they want to do is give you some wisdom, some deep wisdom. Let them let them, because it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna hurt you way more than it hurts them if you don't follow that wisdom. You know, because it's gonna be a swift fall. Because they say pride comes before the fall, but if you had the wisdom, you would know not to get too proud. If you had the wisdom, you would know not to get too proud. You know, and then um we got the 10th house. You know, so at the end of the day, um the main thing that you need to transform when it comes to your desires, to these desires and these subconscious patterns and all of that type of stuff, with this midheaven in Virgo, you need to transform your work ethic. You need to transform your work ethic in the presence of your status. You know, and you can do this. You can do this by enlivening your self-esteem, your self-worth, going back to the second house. You know, because at the end of the day, um this new status, this new career, this new thing that this spring is about to bring into your life, you want to be like a virgin, Madonna, like a virgin. You want to be, while you're going into this new career path, to this new status that's about to give you a sense of stability that's going to make you the GOAT. You know, you need to come into this with innocent Virgo virgin energy. You know, you need to be the baby SU, because when it comes to your status, um, you know, you don't want nobody to be able to look back and see your past and look at you now and be like, oh yeah, she ain't changed or he ain't changed. You know, look at Malcolm X. You know, he was a hustler back in the day. You know, He was a pimp. You know, he did all those things. But look at all the other stuff. It's like all the revolutionary stuff that Malcolm X did, you know, it overshadowed that past that he had. It overshadowed that past that he had. You know? So that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I'm talking about these desires that you need to let go and transform. You know, you need to transform the process so that you can achieve this new status. And as long as you're in touch with your inner child and you got access to the Abeji twins, which are these springtime thoughts, springtime feelings, springtime emotions that are innocent, you know, and then Eshu, he's very orderly. He got to be orderly because he's outside. You know, when I'm outside, when I'm in my truck, I got to be orderly. You know, I got to be clean. You know, I got to be orderly because at the end of the day, when I walk outside my truck, you know, I don't want it to look like, you know, that I was in there. You know, so when I walk out, I look like a regular person, you know, who got a regular house, regular apartment. You know, I'm well groomed. You know, my clothes aren't wrinkled and dirty. You know, I got clean clothes on. I smell good. I'm well groomed. I look good. You know, but I'm on a mission. You know, so that's the type of work ethic that you got to have when it comes to this new status that you're trying to achieve. So 11th house. 11th house. The associations, imbalanced associations. Imbalanced associations. That's not bringing you no justice, and it's not bringing you no closer towards the people, places, and things that you need to be communicating with, so that you can you can have your mind, you know, these people that you can communicate with, so they can feed your mind with the right type of intelligence that can lead you on a road to be able to finally express yourself in a jaw lion type of way that's going to be unique and individual to you. You know, you got to transform this. You know, you got to transform Libra in the 11th house. You got to be able to transform any type of partnerships and associations that's imbalanced, you know, and the imbalance comes in when it comes to the communication. This is how you're going to know that you're in an imbalanced partnership. This is how you're going to know if you're associating with a imbalanced partnership. People who are imbalanced, and you're having partnerships and relationships. These are the two red flags. Number one, the communication is not the communication is not based on wealth. Is not based on clear-sightedness, and is not shrewd. You know, you're not associating the communication isn't beneficial to where you're going, and you got to know this. You know, the communication, and it's and with this, not only is the communication, not only is the communication off, the second thing is the mindset is off. You know, you're not communicating. The person that you're in a partnership with and you're associating with them, not only is the communication is off, but the mindset is off. And those two things alone, that should that should make you want to dead that relationship. You know, if you know that it's time for you to transform, you're about to transform and go into a whole nother into a whole nother chapter, but you're bringing this bag lady type of relationship that should have died in the wintertime. Their relationship should have died in the wintertime of last year. Their relationship should have died in the summertime of last year. It should have died in the fall. You know? So why are you trying to bring unhealthy, imbalanced associations into a new plane, into a new existence that you're trying to build for yourself? You know, and so now you're associating with these Ibeji twins, these brand new thoughts, brand new feelings, and you know, since you're dealing with somebody who the communication is already off in the partnership, Gemini in the 7th house, and also y'all mindsets don't even match because one person feel like they know more than the other, aka Aquarius in the 3rd house. You know, how are you going to be able to go on this road and feel confident about going on this road, and you're trying to string these unhealthy associations along, and they don't even deserve it. They don't even deserve to be associated with what you're about to embark on next. And sometimes you know, outside things can come in and destroy that on purpose, because there's a certain level that you have to go, and can't nothing stop that, even that other person. So it's like, if you don't want to give it up, a catastrophic tower moment is going to happen that's going to make you give it up so you can go forward, because you don't know, there may be some people that you're going to save. It may be something that you're going to create in the future. It may be something that you're going to create in the future that can save so many people. But if you stay in this relationship, if you stay in these imbalanced partnerships, these imbalanced associations, partnerships, relationships, you'll never get there. So Spirit will be happy. Spirit will be happy to place a catastrophic situation to get that unhealthy, unbalanced association away from you. And then, you know, once that parasite is away from you, and now you can see clearly now, the rain is gone. You know, again, you know, you thank Spirit, like, dang, you know, I thank y'all. Thank y'all for looking out for me, because if y'all wouldn't have took that person away from me, man, I ain't no telling where I would be. I know I won't be here. I know I wouldn't be here. So I appreciate y'all for stepping in, you know. And last but not least, you know, if you're able to transform those desires and stuff like that, if you're able to transform those desires, you're able to transform those secret hidden things, secret hidden subconscious things. This is going to give you a new sense of passion, a new sense of desire for action and strength. You know, Mars and Mars is going to give you that desire, that fighting desire to achieve your new dreams. You know, and it starts in the mind, 3rd house. You know, it's going to give you a sense of affection. You know, is gonna replenish that sense of love and affection, because now you got something constructive to relegate that love and affection to, which is your new dreams. You know, like I said, Oshun, she feels like when she gives you a baby, that is the most precious thing that she can give you, because now you got something that you can love as much as she loves you. This was my ex. Wow. You know, and this is in the mind. Venus and Pisces in the third house. So this is all in the mind. You know. Now, also, you doing this. Um, this is gonna give you some intuition. This is gonna give you some new intuition. Um, that's going to alter what you thought about your roots and your heritage and stuff like that coming up. You know, you gonna find out that the reason why you wasn't taught certain things when you was a child was because your mom was young when she had you. So she didn't know. She didn't know no better. You got to think about what was she being raised up? How was she raised up? You know, and look at how far back the trauma goes. You can't just stop it at your mom. I know it can be real easy. Everybody, all the music media manipulation, they're gonna get you to just stop it right there. But no, you got to keep going back. Got to keep going back, and you're gonna discover the deception that your parents was under, the escapism that your parents was under. You know, and how that was impressionable, how that impressioned them to raise you. You know, hurt people hurt people. And last but not least, you know, Jupiter in Pisces in the fourth house. This is going to give you a new sense of expansion and power. You know, once you've done that shadow work and you cleared that, and now you're able to look at these things in the fourth house. You know, that these things in the fourth house that used to give you so much fake emotional security, now you can see these things for what they really are, and now you can finally transform them. And this is going to give you that expansion and power and benevolence and generosity. You know, it's going to give you that generosity to help out other people in need who was once like you. You know, and you're gonna want to expose them to some wisdom that may help them. But you know, like I always say about Oya, just like, you know, Oya's in the 12th house. Oya, she always get her praise in the end. You know, she don't get her praise during the storm. She don't even get praise after the storm. She gets her praise in the end once the new civilization is built. And now everybody, you know, has their own story about Oya. And now, you know, Oya, she's Ada Wado now. She's the humble, pleasant, loving Mama Wado at this point. You know, and she's looking at this beautiful world. She's looking at this beautiful world that has been created. You know, yeah, it took a long time to pick up the pieces. It took it had to take a storm to come down and break and break things and destroy. A lot of death had to happen. A lot of destruction had to happen. You know. But after that came the communication. You know, after that came civilization. And you know, this is what Mama Wado sees when she looks out into the world. You know, and actually this is what Oya sees. You know, Oya, she can see the outcome of what things are going to be after she does this storm, but she don't have a sense of time, so she don't understand that, you know, sometimes she might cause a storm, and that shit It may take centuries for that beautiful oasis civilization to be rebuilt. You know, but like I said, Oya always gets her praise in the end. So these are the 12 things that you need to do in this springtime, in this new springtime. You know, this new Easter time. You know, so that you can um, you can finally be able to be your own sun, to be the sun in your world. You can be the sun in your world that you created. You know, and when you decide to have a El Cristo Negro, you know, you're the El Cristo Ray. You're the sun rays. And then you decide to have a El Cristo Negro. That El Cristo Negro is going to grow up and live in the world that you worked so hard to create. All and it all came from a change in decision that you made tonight. It all came from a decision. And the thing about it is, you may forget about this live stream, you know, 30, 40 years from now. You may forget about this live stream. You know, nobody else may not ever know that it was because of this decision that you made today to transform these things and finally do that shadow work. You know, finally go within and clean up that fish tank, clean up that Pisces in the 12th house, clean all that stuff up, you know, so that this new can come in, you know. And nobody may not even remember it, but at the end of the day, you know, the result is still the result, you know. And if y'all can heed that message, my friends, on this Easter, y'all will be glad that you did. What up, Cosmic Ray? You came in at the super end. Man, I had so much stuff. I'm gonna have to take this stream down, cause I played music and, you know, all that stuff. But I'm definitely bring some of this back up. I'm bring a piece of it back up. But if y'all want to check out this full stream in its entirety, go to my Patreon. Follow me on Patreon. www.patreon.com/BandClapTV to watch all of my live streams that I take down from YouTube. And you know, once I get back to doing my videos like I used to, and also I may start doing videos showing you know, the behind the scenes of me doing this animation. You know, I may start doing that for Patreon. It was a good one. Hey, I appreciate it. I barely got through it. Like, different stuff kept happening. You know, my shadow PC just shut off. I don't know how long I was out. I was out for a while. But I'm glad y'all came back. And you know, I'm always find some kind of way to give y'all this information, because the main thing I wanted to break down was the ether, and then the ether, and then the Esther. Though that was the main thing that I wanted to break down, because that was amazing when that came to me. You know, ether, that's the nothingness. You know, the ether represents the nothingness. It represents the I keep forgetting the space, the stillness that which contains and holds. You know, the ether. And within that space and within that stillness, there's an essence that is a ether. And ether is a magical essence. It's a tincture. A ether is a tincture. It's a tincture, and it replenishes your magical power. You know? And and when this essence creates a body around it, a body of light around it, it becomes Esther, the star. You know, the star and the stone. Because Jesus represented the stone, or Eshu. So Eshu represented the stone that the builders rejected. They didn't notice it, you know. And then he becomes the cornerstone. And then you got the baby Oshun. You know, a lot of times baby Oshuns, especially baby Oshuns who are Leo moons, they're supposed to be the Queen Yalorde. A lot of times they they voluntarily they voluntarily place themselves in crazy fucked up type of families, you know, because they truly feel like their essence can be what can change and transform that whole family around. They can change. They feel like they have enough essence inside of them to change everything, you know. And the biggest thing they have to learn is that you can't change everybody. You can't change somebody who don't want to change, you know. You can't you can't uh you can't please everybody. You can't save everybody, you know. Those You can't help everybody. You know, these are all hard lessons that the baby Oshun learns. And once she learns these lessons, she get real sad. She go into a cave, and then she cry a river, and then she turn to a baby, and then she runs and go find the baby Eshu in the forest. And then the baby Eshu be like, so Arjun, well, what did you learn? And baby Oshun, I learned that I can't help everybody. And baby Eshu, Jerry, dope, you wanna go do that? She like, yeah. So now the baby Oshun and the baby Eshu are off on their new adventures that they're gonna have together. And on the next episode of Orisha Tales, you know, we're gonna continue this story on the next episode of BandClap TV, Orisha Astrology. We gonna talk about what happens next. The Patreon is www.patreon.com/bandclaptv. That's the Patreon, because that's where this video is going. There it is. There it is. All right, y'all. So I appreciate everybody who came out. I love y'all. And until next time, peace.